Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we're tackling a very common and critical question from the world of DIY auto repair: will brake fluid eat Teflon tape? It's a question that comes up a lot when people are working on brake lines and wondering if they can use tape to help seal a fitting. So, we're going to answer that question and then discuss the much more important issue of whether you should ever use it on your brakes. First, let's address the chemical reaction, or lack thereof. To find out, we ran a simple test. We took a standard piece of white PTFE Teflon tape and submerged it completely in a jar of DOT3 brake fluid. We left it to soak for a long time to see what would happen. And the result? Absolutely nothing. The Teflon tape looks exactly the same as the day we put it in. It hasn't dissolved, melted, softened, or broken down in any way. This is because Teflon, or PTFE, is an incredibly non-reactive plastic. It's resistant to almost all common chemicals, and that includes the glycol-ether base of brake fluid. So, the direct answer to our title question is no, brake fluid will not eat Teflon tape. But this is where the video gets really important. Just because it can survive in brake fluid doesn't mean you should ever use it on brake line fittings. The answer to should you use it is a huge, emphatic no, and here's why. First, you need to understand how a brake line seals. It's not the threads that create the seal. Brake lines use a flare fitting. The seal is made by the perfect, high-pressure, metal-to-metal contact between the flared end of the brake pipe and the cone-shaped seat inside the fitting. The threads are only there to provide the clamping force to push those two metal surfaces together tightly. Adding Teflon tape does absolutely nothing to improve this seal. Second, and this is the most dangerous reason, is the risk of contamination. When you tighten a fitting with tape on it, tiny shreds of that tape can easily shear off and enter your brake fluid. These little white particles will then travel through your entire brake system. They can clog the tiny, precise passages inside your master cylinder, your proportioning valve, or, most critically, your ABS module. A clog in an ABS module can cause catastrophic brake failure or lead to thousands of dollars in repairs. These particles can also block the orifice in a brake caliper, causing that brake to either lock up or not work at all. Third, Teflon tape acts as a lubricant on the threads. This makes it very easy to over-tighten the fitting. Over-tightening can damage the threads or, even worse, crack the delicate metal flare, which will cause a massive brake fluid leak and a complete loss of braking power. So, to summarize, while brake fluid is chemically harmless to Teflon tape, using that tape on your brake fittings is one of the most dangerous things you can do. It doesn't help the seal, it introduces a massive risk of system contamination and failure, and it can cause you to damage the components by over-tightening. Never use it. Thank you so much for watching and for taking the time to learn about this critical safety topic. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Your support is what allows us to keep creating content to help everyone stay safe on the road. Drive safe, and we'll see you in the next one.